Welcome to episode 167 of the Thunder Underground podcast. Trent, Jason here, as usual. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty damn good.
That's good to hear.
I am. Yeah, I am.
As we mentioned, this is well, we didn't mention it, but as you see there in the description, this is a special episode this week.
Yes.
Probably won't be as long as our typical episodes.
And that's okay.
Because really this is just an announcement episode, so to speak.
One of the supplemental episodes.
There you go.
You know?
Anything else we want to talk about before we get into this?
No, I think...
there is.
Oh, there is?
We just found out earlier
you have plans.
That Street Dogs have a new album coming out.
Oh, that's right. June 22nd.
There you go.
What Stand for Something or...
Die for Nothing.
Die for Nothing.
They're big Hatebreed fans.
Oh, man.
I bet there's a song on there called Rise.
I hope not. We would have to get the lyric police out.
Right.
Write a citation. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait for that. And if there's any band that I would want to talk about on just a big announcement episode, it would be Street Dogs.
That's right.
Because we love Street Dogs.
Another band we love is Night Flight Orchestra. They also announced their album's coming out, and it might be the same day. It's late June, I think.
Yeah.
Which is
surprising. Probably is because you know, it seems like multiple records come out on the same day now.
Yeah. But that's kind of surprising because their last album came out last summer.
Yeah.
Or was it
true.
spring?
Yeah.
Whatever. It was less than a year ago. And they actually announced a tour, I mean, at some point.
Yeah.
But they're doing a big, huge European tour. Like the first time it's like a full-on tour. So maybe that's a step closer to actually doing American dates one day.
Who knows? Night Demons coming to Tulsa.
There you go.
I mean,
that's another thing that I forgot about, but is that August 26th, I believe.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
That's at the Vanguard, making their return. It's been, by that point, it'll be over a year and a half, because it was actually this time last year, I think it was April.
Yeah.
They played the Sound Pony in Tulsa, and we had a podcast with them, and that was pretty cool. They're like a great new wave of British heavy metal style band.
Yes.
But newer, of course. They've only got a couple of albums under their belt, or 3 now, and what else was I going to say? And then we saw them again opening for Anvil
in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And they're pretty rad dudes. Pretty awesome to hang out with.
Yeah, definitely. So looking forward to that in August. That's at the Vanguard, so that is all ages.
Yes.
That means Trevor can finally see him.
He will fucking be there. I'll make sure of it.
I already texted him as soon as I found out.
Okay, good.
Finally get to see him.
Awesome.
Well, does that cover the random news for the day?
Do you like the new Ghost song?
Yeah, I do.
Rats?
Yeah.
With the kind of 80s hair band opening riff?
Yeah. I think it was Jason Carroll who mentioned that it sounded like Dokken. Yeah. And I think I saw Scott Squires maybe mention something similar. And
see, when I first heard it, I thought the same thing, but they said it first.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's total. I can't imagine if you're a fan of heavy metal that you don't like this.
Yeah.
So, that's just a few quick tidbits there from us, so.
But Ghost isn't heavy metal, is what someone once said.
Well, I can maybe understand that in a way, but this song is metal.
Yeah, but Ghost never claimed to be heavy metal either, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. But this song it's kind of metal. Fight me, bro.
All right.
Anyhow.
On to other things.
Mm-hmm.
If you've listened to this podcast in any length of time, usually at some point in the episode, every 2 or 3 episodes, one of us will say, eventually, whenever you do Thunder Underground Fest,
yep,
that band could play there.
That's right.
And usually it's a band like Dishwalla or Jimmy's Chicken Shack.
Or Huffamoose.
Yes. Primitive Radio Gods.
I hope. Really hope. Yeah.
Shark Island.
Oh, my God. That would be great.
Yeah. Hoodoo Gurus.
Hoodoo Gurus for sure. Maybe Dragpipe. You never know.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What about Dropbox?
I went there. Dropbox. Which one was that?
I remember they had a song that I knew.
Was that the
It's
one
the guy that eventually
does
was
with fucking
Whitfield
Whitfield?
yeah.
Fucking.
Whitfield Crane,
And we're dorks.
Richards Crane.
Richard Crane.
So
yeah.
the dude's last name is Richards.
yeah.
Anyway,
Holy fuck.
the point is, we'd always joke about this.
Yep.
And that's all it ever was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then earlier this year, actually it was the end of last year, or no, it was the beginning of January, we had Claim Your Enemy on here once again. And Travis D. Davis from Claim Your Enemy has started promoting shows.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm going to do this. You know, he told us that after it finished. Or maybe it was during the episode. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then he brought it up a couple other times. We're like,
And
I think he probably knew, but both of us were just like, thumbs up. All right, Travis, whatever you say.
yeah, because, I mean, this kind of thing seems like a pretty big undertaking. And, you know, I always have you know, I don't give myself enough credit, or, you know, I don't want to take on more than seemingly we can handle.
Well, plus something we don't have any experience
And I don't, yeah, exactly. We don't have any experience in, so we were just like, I don't know.
in. Yeah.
But things being the way they are,
He told us 2 or 3 more times it was
Yes.
going to happen, and we're like, all right. And that being said, it was kind of like, not that we don't have the experience, it's just something, like you just said, we didn't really want to do because we didn't want to, like, go into something with no knowledge and screw it up.
yes, yeah.
Make a big mess of shit or whatever.
Yeah, because the last thing I want to do is, like, you know, is do any of these bands wrong, or, you know, unintentionally screw somebody over out of just not having any knowledge.
Right.
So,
Travis,
yeah.
at one point a while back, probably a couple months ago now,
Yeah.
he messaged both of us and said, all right, this is happening.
Yep.
And it still kind of didn't really think that was real. And then until he told us, I've got these dates set.
Yep.
And we're like, wow, okay, this is real. He's not bullshitting anymore. He was never bullshitting, but
No.
I mean, he's not,
Yeah.
you know, he's serious, or more serious than we even thought.
Well, here's something. The night at Halata Fest that you couldn't go to because you were sick as a dog,
Right.
I was there and I talked to him again, and I'm like, okay. And, like, I was a little drunk, but I was still just, like, kind of just not sure. And we ended up hanging out, and I just go, okay, one more time, explain this to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he really, you know, hats off to him. He's really, you know, worked on this. So, you know, he's got this.
Yeah. Same thing. He called me. We've had a couple long phone conversations where he put my mind at ease, so to speak,
Yes.
like he did with you. And that's the thing. It's like, this is his show.
Yes.
And basically we're benefiting from having our name put on it.
Definitely.
And it's kind of like a co-branded thing, so to speak.
Yes.
Because his company is Scarstruck Entertainment that he does with Mark Stevenson out of Oklahoma City.
Yes.
And the two of them have been putting on a lot of shows in Oklahoma City and Fort Smith. And I think they've done Tulsa as well now. But he got a hold of us and said, I've got October 19th and 20th at the Shrine booked. That's when we realized, okay, I guess this is a real
It
thing.
was happening. Yeah.
And all it ever was to us was never going to be like, eventually when we do this, it was never eventually when we do this. It was just always a joke, right?
Yeah.
And here we are with someone that has enough faith in what we do, I guess, and likes us as friends and colleagues, so to
definitely.
speak, that's willing to do this and put our name on it.
Yeah.
You know, because he wouldn't do that, I guess, if he didn't
That's right.
believe in us promoting it right and doing that kind of thing.
And
Exactly.
we super appreciate him for that.
So with that being said, like I said, October 19th and 20th at Venue Shrine in downtown Tulsa is the first ever Thunder Underground Fest.
There you go.
And that's a Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
And that is actually the same weekend as Oktoberfest. So go to Oktoberfest on Thursday and Sunday. Or,
Yep. And come see us. Yeah.
go during the day, come out there in the evening. The thing is, we don't have, you know, door times, set times, and all that stuff's going to be announced here, you know, a few weeks from now.
Yes.
That's still getting put together But what we're going to do today is tell you all the bands that are going to be on this thing.
And who's going to host it.
That's right. It's going to be hosted by Alanis Morissette.
Oh, my God. You know what? Who we really have slated to host,
Downtown Julie Brown.
No, I'm loving way better than any of those two.
Peter Cetera.
Quit fucking around.
Josh Hovland is coming back.
Jesus Christ. Just tell him. Quit fucking around and tell him.
Oh, is that what we're opening with?
What, who's hosting?
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you?
That's right.
Okay, then. God damn it.
Steve Ray of Oklahoma Braves.
Yes.
And, of course, formerly of Doomsday Junkie and Pitbulls on Crack.
The legendary Pitbulls on Crack.
Will be hosting this.
Yes.
And since it is in October, he'll be hosting it as the Great Pumpkin. And
Hell yes.
if you're from if you're just hearing this and you're from somewhere else, that might sound like, okay, whatever. But if you're from the Tulsa area,
you know what's up with that.
Yeah, and have been here any length of time, Pitbulls on Crack played Freakers Ball, and he would come out on stage with Pitbulls on Crack. It's like a thrash metal band.
Yes.
And perform in a pumpkin suit. And then there's been a couple other times where he did that, and then he said he did it later with Oklahoma Braves, and even once with Oklahoma Braves and did it with Doomsday Junkie,
Yeah.
but it's been like years. Well, no, I thought he said he did it with Oklahoma Braves, but he said it's been like 8 years since he did it, so it couldn't have been Oklahoma Braves, right?
Who knows?
I don't think they've been around that long. So it had to have been Doomsday Junkie, I guess.
Yeah.
But regardless, we got the Tulsa legend himself.
A complete honor.
Yes. So, just jumping right into this, like I said, we don't know Friday or Saturday where these bands are going to fall. That'll come out later. And we're just going to run through these in no particular order.
Yes.
It's actually going to be alphabetical order. So we're not
Yeah,
putting
so
anybody
we
above
don't know
anybody
who's
else.
in front or whatever. It's just this is alphabetical, so there you go.
And we might even have some music thrown in here in the middle.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You never know.
More than likely. But yeah, just jumping in. The first band on our list is Archon.
Nice. I can't wait.
Yeah, they've only been to Tulsa a couple times, I think. And
we're going to bring them back.
And it's kind of an honor for us because these guys really only play a few shows a year.
Yeah.
They play a lot less than most bands do for some reason.
Yeah.
And
Andy Papadopoulos and his Fingers of Fury.
Is that what you call it?
It's goddamn right it is.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah, he's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, this band is just, if you like heavy ass metal, loud and in your face,
Yes.
this is the band for you.
Yeah, if you like any kind of Big Four type kind of shit, or Iron Maiden, Judas Priesty, fucking, this is your fucking shit.
And Andy's been on this podcast before, and it was
one of the mother of episodes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know how long the podcast ended up being, maybe a couple hours, but the recording was nearly 6 hours.
Yes.
It's like 5.5 hours.
There was many stories, many songs listened to, and many drinks had. It was great.
But that's the thing. You can do 5.5 hours with that guy because every story is
exactly
as interesting
You're
as the
hanging
last.
on the edge of your seat. Yeah.
All right, so who's the second band we got here?
Claim Your Enemy.
Yep. These
And
guys,
we all know about them.
Yeah, they've been on this podcast twice now. Or is it 3 times? No, 3 times. And they're kind of a mix between your classic metal and like your... It'd be like if you cross Metallica with Deftones or something.
Nice.
Might be a way to say
Okay,
it. I don't know,
okay.
because Devin, his voice gives it that
Yeah.
modern metal kind of sound, but Brian's guitar work is more that classic metal kind of...
Definitely.
So yeah, really looking forward to having these guys back. A lot of people, they're from Stigler, Oklahoma, down south of here, but a lot of people from this area know them because they play here in Fort Smith a lot.
Yes.
Next up is Custom Black.
Oh, man.
This is another one that is very exciting
Yes.
to have back because they've only been to Tulsa a few times at the most.
Yeah. A complete honor. Doom, stoner, sludgy, fucking greatness.
Yeah.
From Kansas City.
Yeah. They're going to travel down here. It's like you said, that stoner feel. Of course, Sabbath influence is there. But just a great 3-piece band, like a lot of those style bands are. And
That's right.
they bring it, and they bring it live. We saw them at Badass Renee's before, and they've been on this podcast as well.
Yes. Yeah, I saw them at Oh, goddamn! I don't even remember what the club was called.
Is it even still there? Because I
Well,
haven't even heard of another show there
I
since.
know. Me and Reese went to see him with Screaming Red Mutiny
That's right.
and Oklahoma Braves.
Man, that was one hell of a bill. I was out of town.
And yeah, you were out of town.
Yeah.
But Cantrell and Waska were there. God, what was that place called? It was a great show, though. It was fucking awesome. So, I mean, this is going to be great.
Yeah. See, that was the thing. Like, we were hoping when we're, putting this list together and Travis was going through and deciding on who was going to be on this thing, we wanted a good mix of styles, We didn't want 17 metal bands.
That's right.
But we wanted 17 different styles of bands,
And we've got it, really, I think.
Yeah. Next up, Drunk on Monday.
Okay.
Another Oklahoma City band. And this actually features our buddy Eric Smith. These guys haven't been on the podcast, but we've talked about it several times and just haven't made it happen. But Eric actually runs Vit's Screen Printing in Oklahoma City, and he did our shirts for us.
Yes.
So if you're in that area or even wherever, hit up their website and get that. But they're a great... We've seen them live 2 or 3 times now, and they're just a great heavy rock, kind of like your 80s metal, but just like if you mixed 80s metal with like Jackal or something,
Yeah.
It's just like a fucking heavy metal party, basically.
That's right.
All right, who's next?
Fucking Driver.
Right on.
I mean, we can't not have these guys on.
Yeah,
We're
guys
super excited.
go way back. One of the first interviews we had in the early days was with Mike DiPetrillo.
Yes.
And he's actually been on this thing now 4 times.
I think so.
Because he was on it, then he was on it with Scott Bond, remember, from Death Grip.
That's right.
And then he was on it with Eddie Green, and then he was on it with the entire band
Yes,
a while
that's
back.
right. That's right. And, I'll take a minute to tell this story. I've told it before, but I think, it kind of comes full circle. When we first started this, and we were getting back into the Tulsa metal scene, Tulsa rock scene, neither of us had been in it in a while. So all I did was Google Tulsa metal bands, and they were one of the first ones that came up. And lo and behold, they had a show coming up pretty close to when I did that. So we just said, fuck it, and blindly went to it. And,
And it's been love ever since.
Yeah. Exactly. That's all we needed. I mean, that was our introduction, and everybody was so welcoming to us. So, I mean, it's only fitting to have these guys on. It's going to be great.
But we mentioned this, I think, on that last episode they're on, but one of the interesting things about that show is Driver was playing with their original singer, but their current singer, Brandon, was playing the show as well with his band Shiner out of Wichita.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot all about that.
And now after that, he relocated to Austin with another band, and now he's relocated to Tulsa with Driver.
So look at that. That's great. That's awesome.
But yeah, Driver, another band we just mentioned a couple episodes ago, because I saw him recently, and never gets tiring, man.
That's right. That's right.
One of the best, I think I've said that before, guitar tandems in this town. Probably the best,
Oh, man. So who's after that?
Well, we got our episode 166 from earlier this week.
That's right.
Fist of Rage.
Nice.
And it wouldn't be a Thunder Underground Fest without Fist of Rage.
It would not. I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah. If they weren't on the bill, I would just not show up. I'd say, all right, Travis, you're on your own, and hand out these Thunder Underground stickers.
That's right.
But yeah, Fist of Rage. Just go back as soon as you finish listening to this and click on episode 166 if you haven't yet. It's
Please do.
Not just the music is freaking awesome. They got a brand new album out called Giddy Up, which is great.
Yes.
But
you'll laugh your dick hole off.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the episode was an hour and a half, but it's like there's maybe 3 points in the episode where there's like 3 minutes where you're not laughing. The rest of it, it's like you're trying to hear what's going on because you're laughing too much.
Exactly. I mean, even if you don't have a dick hole, you're gonna laugh it off if you hear this episode.
That's right.
And that to me is one of the most important things.
Yeah. Josh Hoblin will not be playing drums at this show.
That motherfucker.
What a fucking bastard. Can you believe that? After all you've done for him, late nights, just
me.
Yeah.
That's it, Josh. We're not friends anymore.
Can't believe it. And he thought there was 2 good songs on St. Anger,
I
too.
know. What the oh, Jesus Christ. He's definitely fired.
Right here is where I'm going to insert the clip of Paulette saying moist.
Moist.
God. You're going to overdo that, dude. I already know.
No, just every once in a while.
Oh, Jesus.
So who's next?
Less Than Human.
The hottest up-and-coming band in Tulsa and Oklahoma.
Hold
Period.
the phones, stop the presses, hide your daughters, lock up your cows. Less Than Goddamn Human. Okay?
Lock up your
I
cows.
don't know where that came from.
Hell yeah.
But they'll love it. They'll love it. It's okay.
Yeah. This is a live show of all live shows.
Pretty much what you need to do before you see Less Than Human is do your stretches and maybe do some calisthenics, because you're going to fucking need it.
Yeah. Bow to the altar of metal and
Exactly.
then get your ass up there to the shrine.
That's right.
It's just, it's a stage show and the music is just as impressive. You know, all four of these guys and girl are just freaking phenomenal. We've said it a million times. And this is a band that, like, if you're listening to this and you live in fucking Nova Scotia, you know, or fucking bumfuck Iran, you're going to be hearing about these guys in a couple years.
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt.
Not just on our podcast.
There's no doubt.
You're going to be hearing them on Octane or Liquid Metal or something.
Yep.
All right, next up, Locust fucking Grove.
Holy shit. Locust Grove is going to be playing.
And this is another one. This is, you know, I keep saying it's a great live band, but we wouldn't have these bands on here if they weren't.
That's right.
And Locust Grove, it's like you think of when you go see, you remember Dimebag and how he was on stage, or you see John Fred from, you know, Blackstone Cherry or something. You imagine those guys and the way they perform live. This is like this entire band is that way. And then the music is just heavy fucking groove metal at its finest. So why don't we just play it, right?
I think we should.
All right. This is Monster from Locust Grove.
No forgiveness for the blood.
Monster from Locust Grove. That's off their aptly titled Monster EP.
Yes.
There's 5 tracks on there. All of them are riffy and groovy as hell, just like that one.
Yes, ball squashers, I say.
Yeah, that's your... You need to patent that term.
Hashtag.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Just the next round of Thunder Underground shirts on the back will say hashtag ball squasher.
I like where you're going with this. And maybe I'll get a little cut, you know?
Right? But no, like we said, super excited. Locust Grove is going to be here.
Yeah.
Zane Smith, formerly of Annie Mortem.
Yes.
Another fantastic band.
Yes.
We were sad to see go, but we're not as sad now because Locust Grove is just as badass.
Goddamn right.
All right, moving on. The Normandies.
Oh my God. We got some punk going on, which I'm super fucking stoked about.
Yeah, we're finally getting to the punk section of this list here. And, man, these guys think, like we mentioned earlier, street dogs.
Yes.
It's that style of punk.
Exactly.
And, well, let's just play them before we talk about this.
Why not?
2 songs in a row.
Yep.
Just jamming right in the middle here. This is a brand new song.
What's it called?
Let Me Believe.
Where did I go wrong from what I once believed? What I wanted, where we lost it from society. And it makes me sick inside to know that nothing's true. And you said it was because of me, and I'm saying that it's you. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't lost my fucking mind. So did I ever have a chance, or did I simply play a part? Was it worth the fight? Was it rigged right from the start? But it makes me sick inside to know that nothing's true. You said it was because of me. I'm saying that it's you. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't wasted all my time. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't lost my fucking mind. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't wasted all my time. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't lost my fucking mind.
Let Me Believe, brand new single from the Normandies. You can find that bad boy on Spotify. They've also got a full album that came out, I think it was 2016, called Booze, Bitterness, and Broken Hearts.
So good.
That was the theme of your last wedding, right? Your last marriage.
Jesus Christ, it sure was. Oh my God.
But just like that song, that whole album is fantastic.
Yes, I mean,
what can you say about this? It sounds fucking great. It's just...
and this is punk music that's just as good as anything you'll hear from, Street Dogs, Rancid, Dropkick Murphys. This is totally in that spirit. I can't tell you how stoked I am to have these guys on the fest.
Yeah, kind of like you said with Less Than Human. You should hear these guys at a national level.
Yes,
like you said,
yes.
That's how good this stuff is.
Definitely.
Next band up.
Severmind.
That's right.
We're getting back to that first gig.
Yeah, that same gig you talked about with Driver and Shiner.
Yeah,
they were there as well.
Yeah, it was great.
And just like we mentioned with Deep Petrillo, one of the first interviews we ever did was with Stacey Lane and
Yes.
Derek Sanders.
That's right.
Of Severmind. And then we had them back on our landmark 100th episode.
That's right.
And we'll have to have them back soon enough because they've got a new singer in the band. And, by this point, when this fest hits, I'm sure they'll have played shows.
Yes, they'll be a
And-
little established and stuff. Yeah.
So we'll have gotten to check out the new singer Thad, see what that all sounds like. But we know with these other three guys and the standard of their music that he's not going to be in the band unless he lives up to that standard as well.
Exactly.
Just a great heavy metal band out of Tulsa, so look them up if you're not familiar. All right, next up, I'm going to let you say this one because as much as I love it, I know you love it just a tiny bit more.
Thank you. The Shame.
Yes.
I can't believe it. We're going to have, keeps our punk thing going. The Shame, Oi the Shame, Tulsa Punk. I can't wait to see these guys at the fest. I've seen them at the Mercury Lounge, Chad Malone, Terry Waska. I mean, this is huge for us, for me, for Thunder Underground.
Definitely. And kind of like we mentioned earlier with Steve Ray, a Tulsa legend, I'd
Yes.
say that Chad Malone falls into that category as well.
Definitely. And that's
Even Terry Waska, he's been a part of all these bands.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And that's something it's something I really wanted to make sure that I touched on with this episode is we've really got some roots of Tulsa punk and metal going on here with Dee Petrillo and, Stacy Lane and Sanders and Chad Malone and Terry Waska and Steve Ray. That's something I really wanted to make sure that we had going on in this fest. And we did. So, I mean, I can't tell you how happy I am and how important I think it is that we've got this aspect of the fest going on.
Without a doubt.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember us being teenagers watching Bunnies of Doom at the Eclipse or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to have that element there in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and, for those of you who don't know, Chad Malone was in Brother Inferior
Yes.
in the 90s. And, they went on to tour the world, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
And The Shame is just great, straight-up, old-school punk.
That's right.
Like you said, extremely happy to have this. And Chad Malone was on this podcast. It's been quite a while.
Yes. We need to have him
Yeah.
back before all this goes down.
It's due time.
Yep.
But that episode's great because he goes through a lot of his old stuff and, what he's got going on now because he's also in Senior Fellows as well, which
Yes.
is just heavy as hell.
Yep.
Totally different from The Shame. And like you said, Terry Waska is also in The Shame, and he was on here a few months ago, last fall,
Yeah.
along with Dave Cantrell, and they talked about the documentary that should be coming out at some point. It's
Yes.
it was up for some festivals and stuff, so that's why it hadn't completely come out yet.
Oil Capital Underground
That's right.
sticker on the back of my car.
Hell yeah. But yeah, moving to the next band, we got Sign of Lies out of
Nice.
Oklahoma City. And this is another band that has a great kind of a classic metal,
Yeah.
melodic metal sound, but also more updated because, these aren't, they're younger guys. And I seen them live a couple times. I remember that last time was at Badass Renee's. I think they were with Claim Your Enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And their guitarist, I think his name is Eric with an A maybe, but I need to look that up. But this dude was just fucking a phenom. you know, and that's just the best I can say since I'm not a guitarist myself, but that's something to look out for. So definitely glad to have Sign of Lies here. And as we continue through the batch of bands named with S, starting with an S, who's up next?
Solidify.
That's right. Out of Fort Smith, Arkansas.
That's right.
And we wouldn't be doing due diligence if we didn't represent Fort Smith because there's, a good rock scene there.
Definitely.
A lot of these bands come to Tulsa a lot. A lot of
Yeah.
Tulsa bands go there a lot. So we need to have someone from there. And very glad that Solidifies that band. Because we've talked about them recently, and we played them as well several episodes ago. Just a great heavy rock, hard rock band. They've kind of got that modern, octane rock kind of sound to them.
Yes, definitely.
All right, next up, Sprout.
Nice. Sprout the Antihero.
That's right. If you're from this area, you definitely know Sprout. If you're not, he is the singer for Screaming Red Mutiny,
Yes.
formerly the singer of King Shifter. And he also does this on the side as solo work.
Yes.
And he's working on music right now that should be out sometime this year. And he's going to be playing acoustic. And he's going to actually perform several times from what Travis told me.
Yes.
Kind of in between acts, throughout both days.
Yeah, which is great.
So yeah, quite an honor that he's a part of this because he's another guy that, he's been a big supporter of us, and
Yes.
we've had him on 3 times now, and he's fucking great, and he's just kind of like Fist of Rage. It's a nonstop laugh riot,
That's right. Well, from the get-go, I think Sprout has been a pretty awesome ally to the podcast.
That's right.
We had him on before Scream We Had Mutiny even got together.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Rocklahoma and just seeing King Shifter on like a campground stage.
Yeah.
And, Sprout's this larger than life personality. We didn't even know him. And then a couple years later, we're
You can
we're
call
at
him a friend.
yeah, you can call him a friend. We're at the bar having drinks. So this is, pretty meaningful for me, pretty valuable, I think. And, again, an honor.
Yeah, and more importantly, he's got a phenomenal voice.
Yes, definitely.
All right, next up, Switchback. Another Arkansas
Yes.
band. They actually had a Stuttgart, Arkansas.
Okay.
And this is another band that I can't praise enough for their live show. It's just, you see them in this small space like the Shrine, or I've seen them at Badass Renee's.
Yeah.
We've seen them on stage at Rocklahoma Camp Yeager, which is a bigger stage and outdoors, but that's just the feel you get from these guys when you watch
That's
them.
right.
You feel like it's a full-on freaking huge arena-style show.
Yeah. And you've seen them with their newer lineup. I haven't yet.
That's right.
So,
But yeah, it's just the same. The presence of Curtis, the singer,
yeah.
is what puts this over the top.
Okay.
And Jet back there on the drums, his son, that's just like a duo, because he's just, he's badass, and he just, he hits those things harder than a lot of people.
Huge Metallica fan.
That's right.
See, I take note of that shit.
He's a huge COC fan as well.
I know, that's badass.
Yeah.
Telling you.
And he was actually at the same Hatebreed show we were in Little Rock.
Oh, that's right. I remember
we went
that.
like 2 or 3 years ago.
When we did the meet and greet.
Yeah.
A $35 meet and greet. How can you not do that?
Right.
That was fucking great.
Yeah, meet and greet, we actually hung out and talked to Florida Frank for like 10 minutes after.
Oh yeah, and that was the thing is, yeah, no shit. He didn't even have to, but you guys are fucking Denver Broncos nerds. So he just hung out with us for like 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
And I'm glad you were there. I wouldn't have had nothing to talk about, but you guys geeked out over Denver Broncos.
Yeah. And OU, because he had
Yeah,
been to an
that's
OU
right.
game.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, Switchback. Back to
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Super happy to have those guys as part of this. And they have a great album that came out last year. So get online and look that bad boy up. All right. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here.
Okay.
Next up is Wood and Bone. This is a band out of Oklahoma City. Actually, I think they're Paul's Valley. That's not
Okay.
too far from Oklahoma City. And they have kind of, I've never seen them live. I don't think you have either.
No.
But they've got Travis, before I'd even listened to him, said, they've got a Megadeth feel to them. And I heard that when I listened to they've got 1 or 2 songs up on their Facebook.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it's just great, straight up metal.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that, right?
Nice. Yeah. Fun fact. Paul's Valley is where, if we didn't get located at Broken Arrow when I was a kid moving from California, it was going to be Paul's Valley.
Was that just because your dad liked the name?
No, his name was Paul. That's got no shit. Good one. I didn't even put that together. Fuck me. Now that was the 2 places his work had for him to go in Oklahoma.
Weird.
Yeah. So there you go. But for some reason,
So if they had sent him there, we wouldn't even be doing
I
this.
know
I'd
for
never
some
known.
reason he chose the Tulsa area. Thank the fuck Christ.
If he hadn't, then this festival wouldn't even be happening.
I know. It all comes back to the Paul Wood.
That's right. That makes sense in a lot of ways.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Wood family,
Yes.
I'll let you say the last band on the list.
The last band is Zen Hipster. My old band from back in the day. We're going to get together and do a set for this fest, and I'm pretty excited about it.
So when was the last show you guys played was the Brian Hansen?
The Life of Brian benefit concert. Brian Hansen is a great guy that produced our CDs back in the early 90s and 2000s. And in the Tulsa area. And
You remember how long ago was that? Was that 5 years
it was
ago?
about 5 years ago. It was
Yeah.
like 2013, 2014, something like that.
Okay.
And, he was having a rough time. He had gotten a cancer scare, and we came together and did a benefit for him. You know, by the work of, you know, our drummer Josh Baker, of the Bachelor Table fame. And,
Which you might see in the parking lot out
yes,
there.
the weekend of the fest. I hope you do, and you should.
And even if you don't, Fuel 66, he's out there a lot.
Oh yeah,
A lot of the breweries.
Yeah, all the breweries. The Bachelor Table. It's impeccable food. And so Josh got that together, and we did that, and that was probably about 5 years ago. And we just, you know, kind of just went over some, you know, a nice 30, 40 minute set, and did some songs that we played back in the day around here, in Tulsa when Curly's was real big, around, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s. So, you know, with the Tony Armanello band and Rewake, and what were some of those other bands we always played with?
The guys from Driver. Rhythmic Disturbance. Right?
Rhythmic Disturbance. We did, yeah. that kind of stuff. So,
Severmind played one of the, because remember.
Yes, played one of the Freakers Balls. We were on one of the Freakers Balls. That was one of our last gigs. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to do this again, and, you know, we've got a Facebook page that'll be up. I'll put a link to some of our tunes. You know, as an outsider, what would you describe us as? Sound wise, I'll put that on you.
That's tough because I didn't even have anything in my head prepared.
That's exactly why I did it.
The lead singer, Eric Reese, is also lead guitarist.
Yes.
His voice is like a mixture of Ozzy and Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley mixed together.
I see.
Like all those kind of put together. So there's times where you're listening to music and it sounds a little Chainsies. Then at times it sounds a little Ozzy. And then you've even got guys had that song called Dust where, you know, like the riff sounded like Seven Dust,
yeah.
Right? And then, you know, it's just kind of that turn of the century metal, but with more of a melodic feel, you know?
Yes. And that's a great way of putting it. And so, I'm really excited. We're really excited to do it. And, yeah. So, and that kind of rounds out the fest, doesn't it?
And to say this is all original members, because
yes,
at one point, the bass player, Eric Bass, had left.
Yes.
And you had another bass player was he on both albums, or Eric? Or was he just on the first album?
Eric Bass?
Yeah.
He was just on the first one.
Okay. So.
But this would be the only way I'd want to do it, is if Eric Bass is involved, and he is, and it's going to be great. Yeah.
So, really happy for that. And my other question was, what year was it that you guys started?
Well, we started in 94.
Okay.
But, you know, Eric and Josh were younger, and we literally practiced for years. And our first, official gig was at the other side in that whole Battle of the Bands thing.
That's right.
And whoever won the Battle of the Bands got to open up for Motley Crue at the Brady Theater.
Yeah.
That's how long ago this was. Motley Crue was coming to the Brady Theater.
Yeah, it was in between.
Hits tour, yeah.
In between their arena stages.
Yes, and it was right when Vince Neil got back in the band, and that was our first real gig. And so, you know, and that was what a first gig to get.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, kind of what kicked us off.
I was hoping it was 93 so we could say this was a 25th anniversary show.
Yeah, well, you know, close. But, I mean, the years that we were really active was, you know, the late 90s and early 2000s. We played every goddamn fucking room in Tulsa, downtown Tulsa, all that stuff. So, you know, I'm just, and the cool thing is we've always been friends throughout the years. So to do this was not a hard decision. So it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that everyone's, you know, welcoming and allowing us to do it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's it.
Yeah, run back through this real quick.
Yeah.
I'll just say
kind of go real fast. Yeah.
Zen Hipster, Wooden Bone, Switchback, Sprout, the Anti-Hero, playing acoustic, Solidify, Sign of Lies, The Shame, Severmind, The Normandies, Locust Grove, Less Than Human, Fist of Rage, Driver, Drunk on Monday, Custom Black, Claim Your Enemy, and Archon.
Man, what a lineup.
That's a list. That's a
Yeah,
formidable list.
It definitely is. I'm very proud. It's beyond my wildest dreams. It really is. And, I just hope to see everybody out there.
Yeah. So what started as a joke is now reality. Thank you to
Yes,
Travis D. Davis and Mark Stevenson for their work, for putting this together,
definitely.
and for all the work they're going to do leading up to it. And
Oh, yeah.
obviously on that day. And obviously thanks to Donnie Rich at the Shrine for allowing this to happen.
Hands down.
Because he could have just said, no, fuck Thunder Underground. I don't want those
Yep.
guys here. But, we
Yep.
go to a lot of shows there, and I think he knows that. So we're glad that he allowed them to put these two dates on here in October.
Yes.
And it's and timing turned out well because we're posting this today, and that's exactly 6 months from today.
I know. And I just want to say hi to Steve Liddell too.
That's right. Yeah, of course.
I saw him at the Blackbird a couple weekends ago, gave him a big hug. Awesome.
Yeah. Great dude.
Yes.
All right, there you go. That was our huge announcement, so to speak. 17 bands over the course of 2 days at the Shrine, October 19th and 20th. That's at 18th in Boston.
That's right.
The flyer is going to be posted tomorrow, so tell all your friends to listen to this today. We're just posted a day later to drive up the listen count, hopefully.
Yep. Make plans, get babysitters, take days off, whatever the fuck you got to do.
Take days off. He's talking to you, Kevin Graham, because I know you work Fridays. You've got 6 months to put that date in,
That's right.
so you don't say I can only come Saturday. All right. We good to go?
I think we are.
Until next time.
Thunder Underground, y'all.